Good evening. On behalf of Chairwoman Vargas, we'll now call to order the continuation of the budget hearings that began with the special meeting on June 4th, 2024 for the San Diego County Board of Supervisors, Flood Control District, In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority, the Sanitation District, the San Diego County Fire Protection District, and the county successor agency. As a reminder, according to the board's rules of procedure, audience members shall not whistle, clap, stomp feet, or anything that disrupts the proceedings. On behalf of Chairwoman Vargas, I'll now call the roll. Supervisor Anderson. Here. Supervisor Montgomery Stepp.
Here.
Supervisor Desmond.
Here.
Vice Chair Lawson-Remer.
Here.
And Chairwoman Vargas is here. The only item for the board this evening is the continuation of the budget hearing from Tuesday, June 4th. Chairwoman Vargas and members of the board, on May 2nd, 2024, the Chief Administrative Officer's recommended operational plan for fiscal years 24 through 26 was released. Today marks the continuation of the budget hearings that began on Tuesday, June 4th, 2024, for the board to receive oral public testimony on all areas of the budget. Pursuant to the board's rules of procedure, members of the public that spoke at the hearing on Monday will not be allowed to speak again this evening. Before we move into hearing from individuals that requested to speak, are there any questions from supervisors on behalf of Chairwoman Vargas? Okay, we will now proceed with public comment. For those that requested to speak by phone, please dial into the conference line using the instructions that were provided to you. We have 54 requests to speak this evening, 16 in person and 38 requesting to speak by phone. Again, we'll be starting with the in-person speakers. As your name is called, we'll ask you to please come forward and stand against the east wall under the murals until it is your turn to speak. I'll be calling you in groups of 5, so I'll ask you to please listen for your name. You will have 2 minutes to address the board, and I'll ask you to state your name at the podium for the audio record. I'd like to first invite forward the first group of 5 individuals: Gambler, allegedly Audra, Ilka Wetson, Amelia Avalos, and Evelyn Smith. If I've called your name, please come forward. And you're welcome to come forward in any order.
Good afternoon, Chair Vargas and members of San Diego County Board of Supervisors. My name is Emilia Avalos, and I live and work in Chula Vista. I'm a promotora and a community health worker for SPCS, and I've been working alongside UCSD for the Más Fresco Plus program. And as you know, San Diego County families are having a hard time putting food on the table, especially after the recent floods and ascending inflation. Produce prescription programs like Más Fresco Plus help San Diego County's most vulnerable residents and families experiencing food insecurity access fresh fruits and vegetables while also supporting local farmers and growers and help keep this important part of our economy prosperous. There are a few programs that address health equity, food insecurity, healthcare, and sustainable agriculture at the same time. And Más Fresco Plus is one of those programs. We need for the Board of Supervisors to include more funding for produce prescription programs in this year's budget, because these programs are an opportunity for San Diego County to lead in these critical areas. Más Fresco Plus is successful because the program delivers local produce to participants' homes, addressing the barrier of transportation that too many residents face. I've seen firsthand how the Más Fresco Plus program has helped families from all over San Diego County, the impact that it has caused them. I have engaged with approximately 450 residents and families and re-engaged with over 200 of them in the span of 14 months. I have heard on how this program is a blessing and of how grateful they are for the fruits and vegetables that they've received and how they are glad to be able to eat healthy. I feel that it's important to keep prescription programs available for San Diego County residents and families. So here I stand, asking the Board of Supervisors to please make this possible for our communities, our children, for a better chance of progress. Thank you.
Thank you. As the next speaker is coming forward, I'll call 5 additional speakers: Sylvia Mendez, Jose Silva, Jace Graham, Symmetria Graham, and Cesar Javier. If I've called your name, please come forward.
Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Pudiera tener traducción? Silvia Méndez.
Okay. Yes.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Qué gusto que puedan escuchar nuestra voz. Mi nombre es Silvia Méndez.
Good afternoon, and I'm very, very glad that you can hear our voices. My name is Sylvia Méndez.
Yo soy una de las personas que he sido beneficiada con el programa Más Fresco Plus y la verdad ha sido un gran alivio para mi familia, ya que pues somos familias muy trabajadoras.
And I am one of the families that have been very, very blessed with the program Más Fresco Plus, and we're really, really glad. We're a very, very hardworking family.
Sin embargo, pues nuestra economía ha sido golpeada y estos programas que hacen favor de facilitarnos a nuestra comunidad han sido de gran ayuda.
And, however, we have been one of the families that has been impacted. And I am telling you right now that this is one of the programs that has been very favorable, and has provided us with a lot of help.
En mi caso, esperamos siempre, mis hijas y yo, antes de ir al mercado, porque pues no somos beneficiadas con algún otro programa. Sin embargo, como madre de familia,
And in my particular case, we really wait for this program. We have been benefited. We have the benefit of this program, my daughters and I, because we don't have anything else.
cuando vamos al mercado, mis hijas y yo, a veces es difícil comprar fruta o verdura porque es más caro y prefiere uno comprar otro tipo de alimento más barato, sin embargo, no es lo mejor.
Okay? And when we go to the supermarket, for example, what we want is fruit and veggies, but they're not the cheapest one. But we always try to look for whatever is best for us.
Pues nada más, no me queda más que agradecer y ojalá que podamos transmitir lo valioso que es un programa como este para la comunidad.
And there's nothing else but for me to say that I'm very, very grateful, that you have provided this service to our community.
Muchísimas gracias. Espero que el programa pueda continuar y poder seguir siendo beneficiados para seguir aumentando la economía grandiosa de este país con el cual estoy muy agradecida.
And
Muchísimas
thank
gracias.
you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you did for us, because that way we contribute to this community, the San Diego community that has really provided so much for us. So thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Evelyn Schmidt y yo también vengo del programa Más Fresco Plus. Soy una de las afortunadas que ha...
Okay, es que tenemos ahí a un niñito hablando. Good afternoon. My name is Evelyn Smith, and I'm also one of the persons that has the program of
Más Fresco Plus.
Más Fresco Plus.
Gracias a este programa, mi familia ha gozado de comer más sanamente, más nutritivamente. Como le dice mi compañera, ahorita la economía está muy alta y uno a veces cuando va al supermercado batalla para comprar más cosas saludables.
Okay. And thanks for this program. I think that my whole family is eating a lot healthier. We're eating better. And thanks for this program that we're eating a lot healthier.
Y me gustaría que este programa siguiera adelante para que otras familias, así como mi familia se ha beneficiado con él, pueda gozar de este programa.
I would like to continue with this program. I like this program to continue going, because not only for my family right now, but for future families, I think they will benefit from this program.
Muchas gracias.
And thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, my name is Symmetria Graham. I have emailed you all repeatedly with no response. I do not appreciate that. I contacted you, Nora Vargas, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook without response. District 1 community that email, every email that I found on the County of San Diego website, Mia Watson Good, I have been reporting gross discrimination, retaliation, and civil rights violations, Violence Against Women Act violation without ceasing, and I have received not even an inclination that I'm even alive or deserving a response from anyone except Jim Desmond, I think. He was the only one to respond to me. I emailed you, Monica Montgomery Steep, on Facebook and via email, and I would like for in the budget to be $248 million for me and my family for the discrimination and the deprivation of constitutional rights. And to eat, like my baby said. Also, I would like to know, how could this continue to go on? I emailed the Code of Ethics and Compliance. I emailed everybody on these little doors that y'all got. They all got my email. They all know my name. The entire communication board, and nobody even respond. It's really gross. Intelligence has no color, and hate makes humans incompetent.
6, 7, 9, 10.
Is that 2 minutes? Okay. And you're not done. And now he gonna go too.
Time's over.
You gotta go.
And if he could just state his first name, please.
This is Jace Graham.
Listen, sir, that is just what you see. Listen, please listen to me. Please, I call, yes, I call. Sir, that's what happened then. After that, it's a lie. I'm not gonna explain it here because nothing can happen here.
Well, I don't really want you to go into detail.
Please don't make me.
But I'm just trying to help you here.
Okay, please help me. Well, listen to me by helping me, John. Listen to me, and that will help me. I promise you, I need to speak with the director over the Section 8 program compliance.
Don't transfer anybody to the director, ma'am.
Okay, well, I need to speak to a supervisor. I need to speak, okay, thank you. Thank you for the information. But I'm telling you, John, I need to speak with Kid Vo's supervisor, somebody else's supervisor. Because according
to
Ian, okay, but according to Ian, his supervisor, his immediate supervisor is denying my RAFTA to move and haggling the client and not even telling me, not even including me, and denying me to move in this situation. And he is saying that his supervisor is approving it. In writing, I have it in writing from his email to the tenant where I'm trying to just be.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good evening, Chair Vargas, supervisors, and staff members. My name is Jose Silva. I'm the owner of Papa Joe Farm located in District 2. I'm also the co-founder and vice president of Farm Veteran Coalition, the California chapter, and I'm a part owner of Food Shed Small Farm Cooperative here in town. Since the outset of the pandemic, Food Shed and our partners have been delivering fruits and vegetable prescriptions to thousands of food insecure families, and it has been, in a word, transformative. We have big plans to integrate produce prescriptions into health care for all San Diegans. The American Rescue Plan Act funding help us establish this foundation. Now we need the county to invest an additional $2 million to build the bridge. Every dollar invested in local source produce prescription bounces threefold. First, it increases sales to local farmers. Secondly, it provides health to community members. And finally, it increases the resilience of our food system locally here. We recognize that this is a very difficult economy. However, produce prescription are the stewardship of public funding. Thank you very much and have a nice evening.
Thank you. As the next speaker is coming forward, I'll call 5 additional speakers. Marta Flores, Deborah Samuels, Ada Shido, and Jillian Kodama, and Liz Sinclair. If I've called your name, please come forward.
Cesar Javier, Purita Javier. We are victims of poison gassing in a community designated as residential zone neighborhood.
Caesar, tonight's tonight's public comments are related to the budget. If you can keep your comments to the county's recommended operational plan.
Yes, sir. Let me, please. We do not need budget. We do not need palliative measures. What we need is a rational course of action, policy change, because we do not want to use and waste your budget to cure us from poisoning. No. This is all about budget. Yes. But this is more rational. Policy change so that you will not be spending money, tax money, for something that is a consequence of crafting laws and ordinances. The poisoning that is happening in our neighborhood is the consequence of vague, fatal ordinance. Code Rule 11, exempting the killing machine, ceramics kiln, poison gas emitting industrial, makes it. We need a more budget of correct ordinance. Let's not waste this money for palliative things. Let's cut it right at the throat, please. This is still budget aspect, sir, ma'am. And I am directing this to Madam Vargas.
Thank you.
And Laut.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Thank you. Your time is up, sir. Thank you. Sir, your time is up. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jilly Kodama. I'm a third generation and current resident of District 1 in Chula Vista, Bonita. I attended Coronado Middle School and High School in District 3. I've worked in Barrio Logan, Coronado, Kearney Mesa, Sereno Valley, and Rancho Penasquitos, so most of your districts. For the last 3 years, I've worked at the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership, advocating for arts and culture funding for the city of San Diego. So needless to say, I love our county, specifically our people, what we represent. However, as a result of my firsthand experience in multiple districts, I know all too well how opportunities and accessibility to arts and culture throughout San Diego County are disappointingly disproportionate. Reappointing an Arts and Culture Commission is a cherished first step towards furthering and expanding arts and culture for San Diego County, but without a budget or staff, it is non-viable. Therefore, on behalf of San Diego Art Matters, I ask for 2 very specific budgetary items to be allocated to the San Diego County Arts and Culture Commission. First is 2 full-time employees to coordinate, implement, and carry out the initiatives detailed in the Commission's 2024-2026 strategic plan. And secondly, an additional $362,000 of funding to the Commission itself to successfully carry out this strategic plan and redevelop San Diego County's creative economy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, Board of Supervisors and staff. My name is Ada, and I'm an artist, arts administrator, and a youth. I moved here from LA for school and have lived here ever since because personally, I think our arts and culture scene is much better and diverse. I was really excited to see the County Arts and Culture Commission come back to life after 30 years of advocacy. It was a statement that you believe in the power of art, and it speaks to our shifting mentality towards recognizing that arts is not optional. With next year's budget being finalized soon, I wanted to bring to your attention that the Commission is not included in the budget and urge you to consider signing a change letter to support their operations. The arts are essential, not only for economic prosperity, but also for allowing us to express our human urge to create and share. This Commission will be instrumental in further contributing to our already beautiful arts and culture scene. If a champion for the arts would like to receive support on creating this letter or would like more information about the budget breakdown, please reach out to Jing Myers, the Creative Economy Manager from the County Office of Economic Development and Government Affairs. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Sia Sinclair. I'm with Pacific Arts Movement. While I'm grateful to the support that we've received from some of our supervisors in the county supporting the San Diego Asian Film Festival and our organization, we are disappointed that the recommended FY 2024-25 budget did not include operating funds for the San Diego County Arts and Culture Commission. The commission needs the support to implement its strategic plan and fulfill its mission. The County Arts and Culture Commission work comes at a time when support for arts and culture is greatly needed. San Diego creative industry is critical to our region's economic engine, and our economic needs are significant. Thank you.
Great. Next speaker, please.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. My name is Marta Flores, and I live in National City, District 1, and I am a member of Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe in San Diego. And I'm here to encourage the support of the combined housing and immigration allocations you're making, the housing subsidies that is also really important, and the immigrant and refugee legal defense program. And that is because, as Cesar Chavez said, history will judge societies and governments and their institutions not by how big they are or how well they serve the rich and powerful, but how effectively they respond to the needs of the poor and the helpless. And if there's one thing that I'm very proud of the San Diego County is that you do pay attention to the poor, the marginalized, the helpless. And I look forward to seeing these items passed in this year's budget. Thank you very much for all your hard work and your sensitivity to the marginalized. Thank you.
Thank you. As the next speaker is coming forward, I'll call the remaining speakers in person. Regina Moreno, Nathaniel Tate, and Brad Mills. If I've called your name, please come forward.
Good evening. My name is Deborah Samuels, and I'm from Our Lady of the Sacred Heart in City Heights, and I'm with San Diego Organizing Project. Also, I am a president of the St. Vincent de Paul, and the reason I'm here is also for the housing and for the immigration. My church, we help a lot of people for rent, also for gas and electric, and a lot of them are people that don't have any money. They are immigrants that they are without job and they are working to become a citizen. And I think that we work with this immigrant proposal of the immigration and refugee legal defense, that I was a person working for this proposal. And I think we need to work for them because these are people that working out there bringing the onion, the sherry that you drink in your martini. So I think we need to help these people, get them a real life to live like all of us, because all of us are immigrant in this city and in this USA. And also for the housing, we need to help them. And for the I forgot it here. And for the proposal of the proposal for the proposal for the oh shoot, sorry. Because all of the, I remember you have in the city of each of you all of, I'm going to say it in Spanish. They have tierras donde pueden abrir.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Honorable Supervisors, Chairwoman Nora Vargas, I'm coming before you to ask you to continue the funding for the Más Fresco program. Some of them, they have a card with avocado. Some of them, they receive the bags in their doorsteps.
Can you please state your name?
And vegetables. I'm sorry. This is Regina Moreno, Regina Moreno, Regina Moreno, promotora for SBCS, and a proud member of the COI, that is Children's Obesity Initiative. So I'm working for the people to get healthy, to have a better lifestyle. And like I said, my community of South Chula Vista, they're looking forward to that little box that comes over, and they bring vegetables and fruit. So I'm asking you guys, please, to consider bringing more funding for this program. And I saw firsthand that it's like very happy, the kids and the family, to bring it over. And now, since the pandemic, you know, the prices skyrocket and everything. So our families are looking forward to see that box because they can afford to go and buy it. So you love your family? I love my family. You want the better things for your family? I want better things for my community. And that's continue the funding for Más Fresco. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good evening, Chair Vargas and the rest of the board. My name is Father Brad Mills from Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish in Barrio Logan, and it's great to have the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here to support the creation of a $50 million fund for subsidies for low-income renters. At our parish, I see a tremendous need for helping renters who can't pay rent. I've talked to countless parishioners who've been evicted, who've had to move to faraway places, away from Barrio Logan or the communities they raise their families in, as they can no longer afford rent. And there's just such a tremendous need for more affordable housing. And I would fully support that, a $50 million fund for that. And I would also support the creation of the immigration, the legal defense fund. I believe $5 million was proposed for that. Our parish, over the last several months, has been providing legal, emergency shelter and food to migrants who have been arriving off the streets. And of course, our parish for generations has been an immigrant community. And so our parish, the people who I walk with, know on firsthand, personally, how important it is to have legal defense when they need it. Particularly when they're in such a vulnerable situation as maybe facing deportation, which might separate them from their family. So I appreciate your consideration for these budget measures. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Gambler here. I didn't know what I was going to say, but I heard this guy say it perfectly.
California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas. Very simple, but very amazing. All the leaves are brown and the skies are gray. Oh, dreaming of California. Not anymore. California fast food restaurants have cut 10,000 jobs since state passed $20 minimum wage, business agency. And not only that, food prices are up as much as 8%. At a time when you can't afford to eat, to live, to buy a house, to get an apartment, just know, Democrats will take your jobs away and make your food more expensive. Good luck. I don't know what to tell you. And to be fair, I don't know that Republicans would do better. I can only just say, maybe give it a try. I don't know. I mean, you keep voting for the same people over and over again, but to be fair, the California Republicans are just...
That last part I cannot stand.
You know, because it's like, what's the...
I cannot stand the fact that you guys are doing what you want to do because you voted on it. No, the people most likely in this room collected, harvested ballots for you. They changed people's signatures. They probably paid like $40-50 a person so that they could get their ideas across. You guys jump down on your knees every single time for them, and I do not like that.
Keep up with the $20 per...
Very shortly, my issues with the county will be over, and I will have access to the rosters of the homeless facilities, nursing homes, and schools, dorm rooms. I'm going to compare the signatures. I'm going to see who harvests those ballots. I'm going to see if those people are in this room right now. And I'm going to be looking for criminal prosecution for each and every single one of them that committed voter fraud. And that goes for you too, Michael Vu.
Thank you. Final call for the in-person speakers, allegedly Audra, Ilka Wetson, and Nathaniel Tate. If I've called your name, please come forward.
Good evening. My name is Nathaniel Tate. I am with City on Policy Initiatives and also investing in San Diego families. Today I'm talking about the Workplace Justice Fund. So last year you all decided to approve the fund. So far it has been able to help 34 workers, those people who have experienced wage theft or have not been able, they weren't able to get paid from the employer. A recent study by Rutgers University estimates that there are more than 100,000 minimum wage violations in San Diego County each year. Wage theft is ongoing. Workers should not have to be in debt or struggle more, even if they stand up for their rights. And a recent audit by the State Labor Commissioner's Office shows that they are severely understaffed and they have a huge backlog of wage theft cases. And so too many workers are left without any resolution, and this adds to their financial hardship as well. And right now, there are workers at the Guild Hotel, former workers from the Guild Hotel who are experiencing wage theft when the food and beverage operations were shut down. And they have not even been paid their last check, and they're still missing out on tips as well. And so that's why we are asking for an increase that's why we are asking for an increase of the fund for up to $500,000, so that includes an additional $400,000. And we believe that this will be able to help a lot more workers who are facing wage theft without any recourse. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to hear from those that requested to speak by phone. When it is your turn to speak, you will be unmuted and you will hear a recording that will tell you to begin your comments after the beep. I'll remind the callers they should mute their TV or live video stream before they begin speaking. We'll start with our first caller.
Good evening. My name is Steve Filson. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of VOID, which is Victims of Illicit Drugs. We are a nonprofit formed in the state of California with the explicit purpose of spreading education and awareness associated with the fentanyl scourge that is confronting every community throughout our nation. We've had the extreme pleasure of being able to partner with the San Diego County District Attorney's Office over the last 3 years in spreading this awareness message in an effort to reduce the number of deaths that are occurring not only in our own communities, but throughout San Diego County. The proposed $18 million reduction in district attorney's budget for the next fiscal year will be catastrophic. All we can do is urge you to pray for the wisdom in which to come up with the answers and in which to maintain the level of funding necessary to keep our communities safe. Remember that fentanyl changes everything. It is affecting communities everywhere and families everywhere. Let's help continue that reduction and reduce the number of deaths that are occurring. Thank you very much for the opportunity to address you.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Young. I am an attorney. I live and work in San Diego. My husband is a veteran of the Navy. I am very concerned with the budget and that it is increasing the Sheriff's Department's budget by $60 million. As we have seen from their actions that violently repressed and attacked the peaceful student protesters at UCSC and at the Kamala Harris protest, the Sheriff's Department should not be given an increase in their budget. Their budget should be stripped. They are not responsible, they are not prepared, and they're ill-equipped to protect our community. Rather, the budget that has been allocated to the Sheriff's Department should be decreased drastically and reallocated to the immigrant and refugee affairs. That department helps provide social services, helps provide education regarding housing rights, helps provide language services to immigrants and migrants, especially with Biden now shutting down asylum applications. It will be drastically needed to ensure that those in our community who have migrated into our community are our community members, and we need to ensure that they are safe and taken care of. The Sheriff's Department is an irresponsible department. They have paid over tens of millions of dollars in settlements due to their inability to protect the community. The department includes a $9.6 million budget increase in services and supplies alone due to an $18 million increase for public liability insurance. This insurance is because the county's insurance rates continue to increase due to their failure to provide and protect the community. That causes these settlements to be rising astronomically. It is just so irresponsible, and the Sheriff's Department needs to be held accountable for their misdeeds.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
I am David Barber Dunham. I live in San Diego, District 1, and I participate in the Mas Fresco Plus program. I am a private contractor for the U.S. Navy, retired. I had to retire at 62 for poor health caused by poor diet. Bad eating habits almost killed me. Obesity, high cholesterol, triglycerides, out of control, and a failed thyroid caused my respiratory and nervous systems to fail and threaten my life. My doctor sent me to the nutritionist, and the nutritionist prescribed healthy food as medicine. The cost of the healthy food was too high for me on my Social Security pension. This is when Mas Fresco Plus program saved my life. By eating the fresh fruits and vegetables Mas Fresco provided me, I lost 60 pounds in 3 months. My cholesterol and triglycerides are under control, and I have my life back. I am so much healthier and happier now. I speak for those without a voice who suffer from diabetes, heart disease, and all the life-threatening sicknesses that come with poor diet. This creates a burden for health care and causes suffering, infant mortality, and early death. Lead poisoning is treated with healthy diet too. Mas Fresco Plus helps farmers and businesses in these hard times. Please fund Mas Fresco Plus. The people need your help. Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Good evening, supervisors. I'm Christina Hall-Gillen with YMCA of San Diego, and we continue to value our ongoing relationship. I've spent 2 decades as a licensed marriage and family therapist in this county. My purpose today is to lay plain that the current youth mental health crisis is real. Young children are struggling with worry and anxiety. Teens are dealing with high stress levels. And tragically, too many are losing hope and taking their own lives. Within the past month, I've sat with a principal overwhelmed to the point of tears. I've talked to parents desperately searching for Medi-Cal providers with openings, and consulted with pediatricians whose patients need therapy beyond their allocated sessions. Hardest was telling a group of 16-year-olds that after 2 months of inpatient care, their friend had died from a suicide attempt. These stories are real, and these are real lives. Today, I ask you, the Board of Supervisors, to prioritize the urgent needs of young people across our county. Our youth-facing professionals need the resources to engage in prevention, early intervention, and specialized treatments with youth and families. We all know that budgets reflect our collective values and priorities. And as a county, we have an opportunity to help improve the well-being of this county's children by dedicating the necessary funding for a modern, high-quality behavioral health system of care for our youth. Thank you for taking action.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Hi, my name is Isabel Rosales, and I am a domestic violence survivor from 6 years ago. And I worked really closely with my district attorney for over 19 months while my case was open. And she planted the seeds in me to build my confidence and regain my life back. And now I am on my way to building a successful business. And I have become a domestic violence advocate on my own to be able to reach those in my community and turn them to help. The Family Justice Center has been such a big help, as well as One Safe Place up in the North County. And I feel that the budget cut this year to the district attorney's office would be detrimental. The Family Justice Center does so much for survivors, for victims, for families, and the community needs a place where all the services are in one place for them. And I can attest that it helped me tremendously over the 19 months, and I will continue to send my clients, my customers, and my members of the community to One Safe Place, to Your Safe Place, so that they can get services, so that they can know that there is help out there for them and they're not alone. They don't have to suffer in silence anymore. And that's what the district attorney's office in Summer Stephen does for our community and helps so much. And I truly believe that they need all the funding that they can have in order to continue their hard work that they do out in the community for all the victims and for their survivors. Thank you so much for hearing us today.
Thank you. Now I hear from the next caller.
Hello, good evening. My name is Melissa Hernandez. I am a resident in North County, San Diego. I also work with the Vista Community Clinic in North County, San Diego, which is a community partner with UC San Diego Center for Community Health, where Más Fresco Plus is housed. This program gives access to healthy and nutritious foods to the most vulnerable communities throughout San Diego County. Más Fresco Plus is where they are. This program delivers local produce to participants' homes, addressing the barrier of transportation that unfortunately too many residents face. Personally speaking, community members have expressed that these meals have given them the opportunity to eat healthier, which has improved overall wellness and health conditions, such as diabetes and high blood pressure, as well as other conditions. These meals have also served as an educational opportunity for our multicultural communities in San Diego, learning about new fruits and vegetables and how to cook them, as well as learning about the different health benefits that come through food. Community members are continuously asking me if and when this program will continue, as they have benefited from receiving these items. I hope that you all take this into consideration when revising the budget, and it can be extended to Más Fresco Plus, as it has been a successful and helpful resource to our communities here in San Diego County. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller. Next caller is
Good evening. My name is Monica Langarica. I'm a lifelong San Diego County resident. I'm a current District 4 resident, and I'm the senior staff attorney at the Center for Immigration Law and Policy at UCLA School of Law. I'm speaking today in support of the CAO's allocation for the Immigrants' Rights Legal Defense Program. I represented immigrants for all of my career, and so I personally know how consequential access to counsel is for just case outcomes. As a lawyer, I have helped people get out of detention and fight their deportations, and I've also helped people who want to facilitate their voluntary departure. I've helped the father reunite with his 7-year-old son who was unjustly ripped from his arms, and I've helped my clients hold DHS accountable for its mistakes and its abuses. Lawyers are critical to ensure immigrants in our community have access to due process and to fair outcomes. The San Diego County Immigrants' Rights Legal Defense Program ensures that no matter the federal policies of the day, which as we know are ever-changing, people will have access to the rights they're entitled to under existing laws, whether that means release from detention and relief from deportation or something else. This, in turn, grows confidence in the immigration system and in the legal system at large. This local safeguard that we have in the IRLDP is especially critical in light of the recent presidential proclamation, which will undoubtedly foster confusion among immigrants in our border community, particularly for those who don't have lawyers to help them navigate its new requirements. I urge the Board of Supervisors to approve the CAO's proposed $5 million allocation for the IRLDP. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Agner Medrano, and I'm here to speak about the budget cuts. I work with different organizations in the North County, and I'm here to see, just to share my experience with the District Attorney's Office and partnership on helping, working with gangs, mentoring young youth in our city, in Escondido, District 5, and District 3 throughout the North County. I'm just here just to share, like, if we cut the budget, it doesn't just affect the district attorney's offices, but also all the boots in the ground. So I just wanted to just come out here and just to share about our community and how throughout the years since Summer Stephan took office, there has been a great partnership with the North County communities. So cutting the budget will be really not just affect them, but also the boots in the ground. And once again, my name is Agner Medrano, and I work with different organizations here in North County. I'm a resident of North County, and just thank you for listening. That's it.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller. Next caller is Delfina Alvarez. Your device might be muted.
Sí, buenas tardes. Necesito interpretación, por favor.
Un momento, por favor.
Ok, señora, muy buenas tardes. Yo soy la intérprete. Adelante.
Sí, gracias. Soy Delfina Álvarez, de aquí de City Heights.
Ok, ¿cuál es su nombre, perdón?
Delfina Álvarez, de aquí de City Heights.
Ok, so I'm Vecina Álvarez, and I'm here from City Heights.
Sé que ustedes no nos pueden ver a los que comentamos, pero quiero que por favor nos escuchen muy atentamente.
Okay, although you're not able to see me, and I want you to hear me very, very closely and listen to my comment.
Nosotros, todos los que hablamos a favor de la comunidad que sufre inseguridad alimentaria.
Okay, and I'm calling on behalf of the community that we are suffering, from our feeding, our nutrition.
Les pedimos por favor que apoyen al programa Más Fresco Plus.
And I would really like you to please support the program Más Fresco Plus.
Que ayuda a los residentes y familias más vulnerables.
Because they help the residents, the most vulnerable families.
del condado de San Diego acceder a frutas y verduras frescas.
And from the San Diego County, particularly with the vegetables and fresh food.
Al mismo tiempo que apoyan a los agricultores locales y a otras pequeñas empresas.
And also, I would really like you to support, those local businesses and other small businesses.
Desafortunadamente, este programa se terminará a fines del 2024.
No le escuché. ¿De nuevo, señora? Disculpe.
Que desafortunadamente este maravilloso programa se quedará sin fondos a fines de este año 2024.
Okay, unfortunately, I know that this wonderful program is going to go ahead and expire, I believe, by the end of this year, which is 2024.
Y necesitamos que ustedes, Junta de Supervisores, incluyan más fondos para que este programa no solamente esté por una temporada, sino que sea permanente.
Okay. So I'm asking you, supervisors, just to make this program not a temporary program, but it has to be a permanent program.
Necesitamos de verdad que nuestra gente, aquí tan simple y sencillamente en City Heights, hay mucha gente de bajos ingresos, indocumentada, muy trabajadora, que necesita este apoyo.
Particularly here in City Heights, we have a lot of people who are low income, no documents, and they really do need this program.
Necesitamos, por favor, que ustedes pongan más dinero a este gran programa que ha ayudado a muchas familias con padecimientos crónicos y personas que no tienen acceso a EBT o CalFresh.
And we really need you, to please help these families. These are families that do not have enough income. They don't have any income at all or very low income that will go ahead and benefit from this program.
Muchas gracias por escucharme y sé que ustedes tomarán las mejores decisiones para el bien y la salud de nuestra comunidad.
Thank you for listening to me, and I know you're going to make the right decision, for the benefit of the community. Señora?
Sí, muchas gracias. Muy amable.
Okay, yes, and that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Yes, thank you, Board of Supervisors and staff, for working long and hard on creating this budget. I'm sure it reflects the values of the citizens of this great county. I personally support many of the comments today, including the Más Fresco program, rent subsidies, and the arts. I'm actually calling in for a different issue. I'm J.P. Severge. I represent the United Communities of Elfin Forest, Harmony Grove, and Eden Valley. Recently, we've watched a battery energy storage facility in Otay burn for 2 weeks. It emitted a toxic plume that tested positive for hydrogen chloride and other noxious chemicals while pouring millions of gallons of water on it. While this facility is appropriately located in an industrial area more than 1.5 miles from the nearest residents or neighborhoods, communities around the county are seeing large-scale projects that are being proposed in residential communities. The Seguro project in Eden Valley will be 5 times the size of the Otay project, but it would be in a residential neighborhood mere feet from hundreds of homes and 1,600 feet from a hospital. That same hospital has officially opposed the project, along with 3,200 residents who have signed the petition. While the county has ordinances that address everything from cannabis to wineries, and yes, even how many chinchillas you're allowed on your property, we think it's time the county do the due diligence on battery energy storage facilities. Given the proclivity of these facilities to catch fire, we respectfully request that the county allocate funding to studying the zoning, placement, public safety, and fire response of these facilities to develop an ordinance that will allow appropriate sightings of these facilities while helping further our transition to green energy. Really appreciate you guys, the work you're doing, and thank you for the time to comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Move on to the next caller.
Good evening. My name is Dave Seaberg, and I live in Santee, and I'm a member of the Friends of the San Diego Lakes. First of all, I wish to thank Supervisor Anderson for the guidance and support he's shown to our group and is concerned for recreational use of our lakes by county residents. You all know the city is closing some city lakes because of a budget reason. Before 1974, the Lakes Recreation Program was run by the county. I submit to you that the city has not met the terms of the charter that turned the lakes over to them originally. They are doing just the bare minimum required by the charter when the lakes were originally transferred. The city, and specifically the PUD, cuts our days and months of access every year because they don't want us on the lakes. They have proven they do not have the desire nor the skill set to run a recreation program at the lakes. Reservoirs in the county are controlled by the city PUD. Why is there not a budget partnership with the city to fund and expand recreation infrastructure projects to serve the hundreds of thousands of your constituents that have no voice in the city's recreational use of the lakes because we ride in the county? What about your constituents that fish for individual or family subsistence? Also, if our children do not have access to quality outdoor recreation such as fishing, what negative pastimes will they turn to for a replacement? This issue affects many businesses, from convenience stores to boat dealers and service shops, welders and trailer makers, and even fishing guides. Please find a way to collaborate with the city to mitigate the city lakes recreation budget cuts. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Hi, my name is Lavisha Williams, and I am a resident of City Heights. I am here to speak for the program Mas Fresco. I need to add my voice for this program because at one point I was very vulnerable. Food insecurity. I am overweight and hypertension and osteoarthritis, and I was lucky to receive this gift from someone who put my name down for it, and I began receiving fresh fruits and vegetables delivered to my door. This led me to reconsider how I ate and what I ate. It helped me develop a fascination for creating dishes with vegetables and the habit of eating healthier without processed food. The program benefits did not just stop when my service ended. I'm a past recipient. Now when I shop, I go to the marketplaces first before I hit the supermarket. I cook and consume more fresh fruits and vegetables, and my health has improved. I'm very appreciative of this program, and I will always lend my voice in support of it. There are struggling families out there that should have this opportunity that was given me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hear from the next caller.
Good evening, Board of Supervisors. My name is Jenny Sharbarth. I am the Executive Director and co-founder of Kathy's Legacy Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. I appreciate your thoughtful consideration this evening to the budget. As a partner at One Safe Place, I see and hear the impact the resources have on victims of crime. People who at one time had difficult to obtain or few options in San Diego are now receiving wraparound services under one roof. We need to maintain that excellence for all victims of crime. When our daughter was murdered, I sought such services in San Diego and found nothing for children orphaned by domestic violence. I collaborated with the District Attorney's Office to establish our Silver Lining program. Through this program, the District Attorney's Office introduces us to children who have lost a parent to domestic violence. We provide these children with support in all aspects of their lives to ensure normalcy and experience life not identified by domestic violence. These children need the services provided at One Safe Place. A budget cut could mean a step back for the services and protection of our families and their children. Programs around the county that have made San Diego premier role model in domestic violence services will suffer. I request you consider, instead of cutting the district attorney's budget, especially in these difficult times, to ensure resources can be provided, especially in the arena of public safety, and increase to the budget. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Lederman. I live in the Eden Valley community of North County. I am calling in to strongly urge the county to allocate funding for a battery energy storage facility ordinance. Currently, the Seguro project proposed by AES would actually be right next door to me. I would share a property line with this facility, as would many of my neighbors. In fact, several of my neighbors would actually have to drive through the project on a daily basis. As we have seen the multiple battery fires occur at these facilities in Valley Center and Otay Mesa, it is only a matter of time that there would be a fire at this facility as well. The reason this facility is able to be proposed is that there is currently no county ordinance that says where these facilities should be located and create a fire safety zone around them. I strongly urge you to allocate funding for such an ordinance, and I appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I hear from the next caller.
Good afternoon, Chair Vargas and supervisors. My name is Esmeralda Flores. I'm a resident of District 4, and I am the Deputy Director for the Southern Region and Binational Affairs for Chile. I am here today to express our continued support for the Immigrant Rights Legal Defense Program by providing legal representation to anyone who cannot afford an attorney, regardless of their immigration status or background. We protect our widely shared values of due process, fairness, and justice for all, a value already exemplified by public defenders all over the nation. This local safeguard is especially important in light of federal immigration policies that are constantly in flux, as we saw this week, and subject to the agendas of changing presidential elections. We know this program is changing lives and protecting families in our community. I urge you to approve the CAO proposed allocation of $5 million for the Immigrant Legal Defense Program and defend our values and fundamental right to legal representation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. On to the next caller.
My name is Donald Yaskochi, and I'm from Yaskochi Family Farms, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Mas Fresco program. The Mas Fresco program has provided our farm, as well as many other farms in North San Diego County, with funding so we can continue to do business. Our farm, the Yaskochi Family Farms, we put together the boxes and we deliver them to these low-income families, which really need nutrition and the fresh fruits and vegetables locally grown. The Yaskochi family, the Ukigawa family, the Kawano family, Nagata family farms are pioneers in the San Diego County, and the program has allowed us to continue farming. Another company, Mountain Missile Mushrooms, Go Green Lettuce, Tepa Citrus, they all benefit from the funding that you guys provide. And as you've heard from many of the other supporters, the health benefits of these fresh fruits and vegetables. I run a program where there's low-income families, and a lot of them are eating processed foods with preservatives, and you know what? It fills their stomach, but it doesn't provide the nutrition and the vitamins that kids need to grow big and strong. So I would appreciate if you guys would continue funding the program. I think it's an excellent program. It's well run, and as farmers, we.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller. Next caller is Jeanette Sanchez. Your device might be muted.
Buenas tardes. Español, por favor.
Un momento, por favor.
Gracias.
Señora, muy buenas noches. Yo soy la intérprete. Adelante.
Buenas noches, señorita. Mi nombre es Janet Sánchez, soy del Distrito 9.
Okay. El Distrito 9?
Ajá.
My name is Janet Sanchez, and I'm from District 9.
Pues yo les pido que apoyen Más Fresco.
So,
parte del comité organizador de la City Heights.
Okay, so what I'm asking you for is, I want you to support the program for Más Fresco. Okay?
Así como me ha beneficiado a mí, yo he inscribido a varias familias.
The way that I've benefited from it, I've also subscribed to other families.
Y por esa razón les pido que nos apoyen con el programa, que no sea un programa permanente, que no sea un programa piloto, sino un programa permanente, ya que es de mucha ayuda para las familias.
Okay, so I really ask you to support us, all the families, with this program. I know right now that it's not a permanent program, but I think it should be permanent for all the families.
Muchas gracias.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias, señora.
Gracias. Now hear from the next caller.
Hello, my name is Carrie Gonzalez, and I am Eric's mother. My 21-year-old son was a victim of fentanyl poisoning in 2020, and I've worked with Summer Stephan and others in the DA's office to advocate and spread awareness about the fentanyl crisis. I'm in opposition of the proposed budget cuts to the DA's office. By cutting the budget, you would be working against the blueprint Summer Stephan's office has put into action since 2018, which is to protect victims' rights, fairness for the accused, and the right for communities to be and feel safe. These budget cuts will affect school-based prevention, such as mental health and substance use therapy, education on human trafficking, bullying, gang prevention, also for victim service providers. Victims and survivors will fail to have a seat at the table in regards to programs and or policies that directly affect them. Victims with trauma, mental health, and or substance use challenges will further be pushed aside and stigmatized. If we want to heal communities, I ask that you do not hinder services for victims or survivors, such as trauma-informed services, wraparound services, advocate services, healing spaces, mentorship, and more restorative programs. Please support victims and survivors by taking measures not to cut the DA's budget. I thank you, the Board of Supervisors, for allowing me to have this time to speak with you.
Thank you. We'll hear from the next caller.
Good evening, Chair Vargas and County Supervisors. My name is Monica Montaño, and on behalf of Scripps Health, I'd like to share the importance of the District Attorney's Office to our healthcare community. The DA's office has been a leader in supporting our healthcare providers in the region. A major challenge for hospitals right now is violence against healthcare workers. DA Stephan has been an active participant in our current stakeholder work groups with hospital leaders, and together with her staff, they have helped with innovative strategies such as alternatives for those committing such crimes, including placing them into programs to help them heal and grow. DA Stephan continues to shed light on areas where we can collaborate to find the best solutions for our communities, and we would really like to see ongoing support and resources to this office so that we can continue the great work that is already underway. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hear from the next caller.
Good evening, Chair Vargas and Supervisors. My name is Felicia Gomez, and I am the Immigrant Rights Senior Policy Advocate at the ACLU of San Diego and Imperial Counties and a resident of District 5. The ACLU is also a proud member of the Invest in San Diego's Family Coalition. We are here to urge the San Diego County Board of Supervisors to approve the CAO's proposed $5 million budget allocation for the Immigrant Rights Legal Defense Program, or IRLDP, to ensure all immigrants have access to due process and legal counsel in the county. Thank you, Vice Chair Lawson-Remer, for your continued leadership in this work. Access to legal counsel is a fundamental civil right. For immigrants detained at the Otay Mesa Detention Center facing removal proceedings, IRLDP is vital to ensuring due process and a more just immigration court system. Data shows that detained immigrants who have access to counsel succeed more than 5 times as often as their unrepresented counterparts, but 68% of detained immigrants in California were unrepresented. When a loved one is detained or deported, it impacts their entire family and community. The detention and deportation of a family member often means a loss of a household's primary income, and detention or deportation can cause household incomes to fall on average by half, and can sometimes leave individuals without an income at all. The IRLDP gives people a fairer chance at seeking release from deportation and rejoining their families. Through its ongoing funding of the IRLDP, San Diego County can continue closing the gap in legal representation and making our immigration system more just and more humane. Having the program available is an important step, but we still have a lot of work to do to ensure all immigrants who need legal counsel have access to it. We urge the Board of Supervisors to approve the $5 million county budget allocation for the Immigrant Rights Legal Defense Program. By approving this funding, the Board of Supervisors will demonstrate the county's commitment to due process and building stronger communities. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Move on to the next caller.
Good evening. My name is Monica Lin. I am a resident of San Diego County, District 1, and I work for a food shed cooperative. Our team has been responsible for aggregating and delivering the fresh produce that the families have been enjoying through the Mas Fresco Plus program. And tonight, you've heard from our promotora, community organizers, from healthcare workers. You heard from people who benefited from the program, and you heard from some of our local farmers growing the produce that has nourished hundreds of families. As the Board of Supervisors takes on the task of creating a regional community action plan to address food justice, I urge you to continue allocating sustainable funding to local farms. As our City Heights residents and promotoras mentioned earlier, we need a long-term produce prescription program, not only to address food insecurity, but also to build climate resilience by securing purchasing power for the local farms that are already working hard to reverse climate change. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the next caller.
Monique Roses.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good evening, Chair Vargas and supervisors. My name is Monique Roses. I'm a parent advocate and a D4 community member. I'm also a fellow with the Children's First Collective. As a parent advocate, I would like to advocate on behalf of the San Diego Child Care Blueprint to bring that to life, the importance of quality child care. And the other only thing that we really need and must include access to is the mental health and behavioral health services for children, youth, and caregivers. I'm a single parent, and I have a son with the disabilities. He has ADHD and autism, and I just want to express the importance of getting services and finding those resources. For my son, he was suicidal at one point because of his lack of knowledge of self. And I believe with the importance of knowing and having services or access to mental health behavioral services is to allow people, children, or the caregivers to be able to relieve themselves, learn themselves, and figure out different tools to help them succeed, because everyone is not equal. We all need to have an equitable lens when it comes to meeting people where they're at. I was fortunate to have a regional center coordinator come to my house today because I don't have transportation to even go meet with her. So it's just the little things like that allow people like us who grow up in poverty, and on top of being in poverty, we have our children with
Thank you. Hear from the next caller. Next caller, Sam Meyer. Your device might be muted.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Sam. I am calling because I am a resident of San Diego County. I'm a lifelong resident. I've been paying taxes in this county for my entire life. And I am calling because I'm completely disappointed by this budget resolution that's calling to provide additional funding to the sheriff. Last month, the sheriff violently removed the UCSD encampment and violently dealt with protesters at the campus that were peacefully protesting genocide and their university's complicity in genocide. There is no reason to give money to an entity that has recently been accused of such extreme violence. On this call today, we hear people begging for additional resources for their children, for healthy food, for mental health services. And why do you think you should be giving additional money to the sheriff instead of these other amazing programs that will support and build their community? You are choosing to pay for and support violence by continuing funding with the sheriff, especially without any investigation into the violent actions that took place at UCSD. I would like to call that you, at minimum, call for an investigation and also to not provide additional funds to the sheriff. You are choosing to prioritize violence over building your own community, and that is something that all your constituents will remember. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now hear from the next caller.
¿Aló?
Yes, please go ahead.
Hola. Buenas tardes.
Ok, señora, muy buenas tardes.
Hola, mi nombre es Briseida Cisneros.
Perdón, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Briseida Cisneros.
Ok, my name is Briseña Cisneros.
Briseida Cisneros.
Okay. Briselia Cisneros, adelante.
Sí, soy de la del COL y soy promotora, pues estoy hablando.
Okay, and I'm
Más Fresco Plus.
Okay, and I'm a promotor and I'm calling about Más Fresco Plus.
Para que este programa de Más Fresco Plus no ayuda a los residentes y familiares más vulnerables del condado de San Diego.
Okay, and I'm calling because that program really does help all the residents, particularly, especially because the most vulnerable families, and it is helping us a lot.
Y pues al mismo tiempo que apoyan a los agricultores locales, estas pequeñas empresas pues ayudan a todas las familias de San Diego.
Okay, and also that you support the local agricultural people, because that really does help also the families in San Diego.
Hay muchas personas que no tienen dificultad para comprar verduras y frutas para llevarlas, ponerlas en su mesa, y pues el programa los apoya mucho.
Okay, because a lot of families, they have a lot of, problem purchasing fruits, vegetables, and this program really does help the families a lot.
Y acomodando también a la salud alimentaria, a comer más saludables. Este programa me gustaría que estuviera más tiempo, ¿verdad? Que fuera permanente y que no lo quitaran.
And, this is really helping the community as far as the health, to eat a lot healthier. And I really would like you we would like to have this program for a long time. Actually, we would like to have this program in a permanent basis.
Este programa ha ayudado también a que muchos de las familias que no tienen recursos los apoyen para que los niños no tengan obesidad, para que coman más sano.
And this is really good for a lot of families that do not have the resources, particularly for kids, that they can eat healthier.
Y también necesitamos que en esta junta, ¿verdad?, de supervisores incluyan pues más fondos para este programa y que pues este año, ¿verdad?, nos den pues esa ayuda que pues todas las familias más vulnerables lo necesitan.
Okay, so I really would like to, you need to include more funds for this program, particularly for the vulnerable families that really need that program.
Y Más Fresco Plus tiene tanto éxito aquí en las comunidades que pues me gustaría que nos apoyaran, ¿verdad? Y que pues se necesita más fondos para que tenga más éxito en diferentes comunidades y pues que no lo quiten.
So this program, Más Fresco Plus, I really would like you to support it, to give more funds, especially for the most vulnerable families. I think that I don't want you to end it because we really need it.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Afternoon. I don't want to see the sheriff having an increase of $60 million in their budget this next couple of years. They are failing to protect our communities' right to freedom of speech, and instead this budget should be reduced, and this money should be going to the programs that are actually going to reduce crime, housing, and food for people, and services for immigrants and refugees. People here are suffering. We need help. I don't want to see my taxes being used for sheriffs to train with the genocidal Israeli government. We saw how the sheriffs implemented brutal military force on peaceful protesters at UCSD on May 6th, and they have proven time and time again, they act with impunity and without accountability. How many people are dying in our jails? The U.S. is sending $3.8 billion of our money, our tax money, to Israel every year. In the last 8 months, they sent another $300 million. Imagine if our government, our county of San Diego, is actually spending our taxes to take care of us and providing housing for the people. The county of San Diego, I don't want any of my taxes we pay to be used to support the Israeli state that is killing Palestinian women and children. I want the county of San Diego to divest from Israel and all Israeli companies. It is a shame that all of the services are being cut from housing, from immigrants and the refugees, and actually taking care of people. You had 10, 15 people calling about Más Fresco. It's a program that works. Put the money there. Stop putting money into sheriffs just so you can get reelected in the fall. You need to start taking care of the people. We need housing. We need healthy food. We need mental health. We need help here. We are suffering. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll hear from the next caller.
Hello, my name is Myra. Good evening. I am a resident of District 2. I've lived most of my life in El Cajon since 1998. This is when my family immigrated to the United States of America in hopes of a better future. My parents recognized that there are certain civil rights in this nation that it awards to its citizens that are unmatched to other nations. One of those vital fundamental civil rights is the access to legal counsel. America recognizes that all people deserve due process, regardless of their financial means, where they are born, or what they have experienced. This right, however, does not extend to all of my family members who also reside in this nation. People facing deportation are not provided court-appointed counsel for our immigration court system. This means that they're forced to face a complex court system all on their own, no matter their education level, their understanding of the English language, or any disability. San Diego created a solution to this imbalance of access to legal counsel, the Immigrant Rights Legal Defense Program. Ensuring that we continue to fund this is especially vital as asylum policy constantly changes for political gains, because it's a reflection of how our local county recognizes and upholds the rights to seek asylum. I urge the members of the board to approve the proposed $5 million for the Immigrant Rights Legal Defense Program and ensure all people, yes, immigrants included, have access to due process and legal counsel in our country. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll hear from the next caller. Next caller is Ann Riddle. Your device might be muted. Ann, go ahead. And we'll come back to that caller.
Hi, Board of Supervisors, Chair Vargas. My name is Gianna Giacalone, pronouns she, her, and I'm a resident of District 4. Access to counsel is a civil right that should be afforded to everyone. Therefore, San Diego County must continue to fund and prioritize the work of the Immigrant Rights Legal Defense Program. Data shows that the majority of detained immigrants in California go without legal representation. But access to counsel in immigration court matters. Immigrants who have counsel succeeded more than 5 times as often as their unrepresented counterparts. It's unreasonable to expect people that just arrived to this country to navigate the complexities of such a complicated immigration court system. We have to continue to support programs that make the process more accessible. And the IRLDP helps to close those gaps in legal representation and makes our immigration system more just and humane. I urge you to approve the CAO's proposed $5 million for the Immigrant Rights Legal Defense Program in the county's 2024 to 2025 budget cycle. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Come back to that last caller.
Hello, Ann Riddle. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Good evening, Board of Supervisors. I called in this evening to lend my voice of support for your funding for mental health issues. I think that when I received this call to action today, I was impressed with the words that they chose regarding mental health in our young people, and it said, the threat is real, serious, and current. I think it's important that we remember that our young people, 18 to 25, have the highest rate of serious mental health issues, as well as substance use abuse. And we know that 90% of all substance use begins before the age of 19. So we appreciate all efforts towards good mental health for our young people. It's important to recognize the role that substance use plays in affecting mental health, most particularly marijuana. And we're hoping, those of us who work with young people, that as the county spends its money, it will spend its money on good mental health and substance use resources for our young people, and not in extending more marijuana businesses in our unincorporated area. Thank you for letting me share this thought.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
It's Truth here, hoping to disrupt the monotone stakeholder status quo. When at a recent Sandag meeting, City of Santee Mayor John Minto said there's no point in even talking about a budget because nothing ever gets done anyway. I already was on the same thought process about reading this county budget. Why should I skim 640 pages when you supervisors just vote whatever you want anyway? It makes no difference even if people literally beg you. Nobody asked for the budget to balloon by another $318 million. Most of it going to salaries and benefits when you guys can't even be bothered to respond to emails, just like Mia Watson said. And yet county government has increased by about 500 people per year. When Ebony called it overreaching strategic goals, I agree with that. If you guys expect a $93 million deficit, then why is the budget higher than last year? Have the reserves increased to prepare for that deficit? And why did staff not expect the major state deficit ahead of time? During the lockdown era, it was obvious the federal and state governments were spending tax money and this country into the ground. DA Summers' office got cut by $18 million. So if she has to cut staff and stop investigations, then so much for those abused horses being saved and criminal charges pressed against Netwig and Barkley. And it shows that you guys would rather have all the homeless people locked up under SB 43 or miscare court than lock up actual criminals. The cut to the DA's office even has an effect on 2 countries. That's why the Mexican Consulate General Assistant, Gavarta Luna, was here. Nora, do you realize you're actually hurting both the Mexican motherland and your home of over 30 years with this decision? So I would instead like to see the supervisor's personal budgets cut. No more personal coffee-bringing slaves, no lunch delivery service, no personal bodyguards, and no $200,000 plus inflated salaries. Remember this.
Everybody should be treated with respect. Unless somebody sits down and listens, it's never going to be fixed.
Do you really want things to get better and be fixed or not? Simple question. Thanks.
Thank you. Now here for the next caller.
Maribel Arias.
Please go ahead.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas noches, señora.
Okay. Mi nombre es Maribel Arias y yo vivo en City Heights.
My name is Maribel Arias and I live in City Heights.
Yo participé en la inscripción del programa Más Fresco Plus.
I was one of the participants in the program Más Fresco Plus.
Quiero decir que el programa de Más Fresco Plus es un programa que aborda la equidad de salud y la inseguridad alimentaria.
I wanted to let you know that this program, Más Fresco Plus, does really help, with not only the nutrition, but also with the health.
Este es un programa que ha ayudado a las familias a poder nutrirse.
This is a program that has helped families with the nutrition.
Y ha llegado a inscribir a familias indocumentadas que no tienen acceso a otros programas sociales.
And also it has really helped, for people who do not have any documents and they're able to subscribe since they don't have any type of other options.
Sabemos que desafortunadamente este programa quedará sin fondos.
Unfortunately, we do know that this program is going to have no funds pretty soon.
Necesitamos que incluyan más fondos para este programa.
We need to have more funds for this program.
Que es un gran programa que ha ayudado a muchas familias de todo el condado de San Diego con personas con enfermedades crónicas a poder nutrirse.
And this has been a great program. This program has helped a lot of families in the county of San Diego that they don't have any funds and they can have nutrition now.
Muchas gracias.
And thank you so much.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Jim, you should absolutely bifurcate this vote and not vote that $5 million through for the immigration defense. Because we already know a 5-year-old has been raped, and what's happening is these people are replacing us. It's like if I go into somebody's house and all of a sudden act like I got the right to that house and I can kick the people out and they got to provide for me everything under the sun just because I invaded their home.
I'm going to ask you to please state your name.
Allegedly, Audra.
Thank you.
And, it's very sad to see how many people are under this delusion and complicit in the invasion of our nation, acting like these people are citizens and that they're all seeking asylum when that, in fact, is not true. And we shouldn't be protecting these people over our own. We shouldn't be protecting them over a 5-year-old who has been raped. It's like you guys laugh at it when that's been brought up. But when we talk about, protecting these victims, instead we take money away from the DA and then give it to defend all of these people who cross the border illegally, committing a federal offense. And then they want us to provide everything for them. Well, they had money to get here. I'll tell you that, because they take many flights and they have a lot of money going across paying the cartels and whoever they need to pay off in order to get here. So, Jen, you better do everything in your power to show the people that you stand with them and go against anything that the money is being spent for this illegal invasion. You absolutely need to bifurcate the vote. Otherwise, you're just as complicit. We shouldn't be aiding and abetting this. This is an invasion. Biden didn't do anything to stop it. In fact, it's just been increasing and increasing and increasing. How many people can we sustain when our own people are suffering because you want to protect them and provide everything for them? All of the people in the community have to pay for it and don't get the same. So you know what? That $5 million should go to that little girl who was raped by an illegal who crossed the border.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Good evening, Board of Supervisors. My name is Simon Guzman. I use pronouns such as he, him, and él. I'm a resident of District 5 in North County. I'm calling today in support of the $5 million budget allocation for the Immigrant Rights Legal Defense Program proposed in this upcoming year's recommended budget. This allocation is a very modest investment to ensure that the civil rights and due process is upheld for all people, including immigrants who are human beings, because no human being is illegal. This to me is really important as someone who has grown up in North County for most of his life and knows that our immigrant families are the ones that live here in these cities. They contribute to the economy, to our infrastructure, and our daily social life of our region. And we deserve to have supervisors who value our families' humanity and support budget allocations for programs that ensure our immigrant neighbors have access to legal counsel during extremely complicated and high-stakes proceedings. Now, many of us that have grown up here and are from this region have loved ones that we've lost in our family that have been torn from us due to unjust deportations. I grew up here in Oceanside in North County, where I have not only experienced losing my own dad to deportation, but I heard friend after friend, neighbors, and so many other loved ones who've had family members targeted by immigration officers who came and showed up at bus stops and stores, in city-endorsed checkpoints, at schools and homes where they should not have been. And so I'm calling today because this is important to me and so many that can't be present to call you today because they're working. Please support continued funding for this program and ensure that our families are also represented in the decisions that you make, because we are human beings and you also are elected to represent us and to ensure that the money we contribute to our region.
Thank you. Now hear from the next caller.
Hi, good evening, members of the board. My name is Megan Stewart, and as a public health advocate, I am here to express my support for mental health and drug prevention programs. Investing in mental health and drug prevention is not just a financial decision. It is an investment in the well-being and resilience of our communities. The negative effects of substance abuse, particularly on mental health, are very well documented. By allocating resources to prevention and intervention programs, we have the opportunity to mitigate these effects and promote healthier, more stable communities, specifically within our youth. Prioritizing mental health and drug prevention initiatives aligns with broader public health goals. By addressing the root causes of substance abuse and mental illness, we can reduce strain on our healthcare system and improve overall community well-being. I would like to again thank the board for the budget allocation to prioritize mental health and drug prevention. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. On to the next caller.
Hello, this is Kelly McCormick. I'm a public health educator and parent, and I live in Terra Lawson Reimers District. And I would like to also speak in favor of mental health and drug education, substance use prevention education. And I know that you funded Project Aware for middle schools last year, and it's been great for the schools who are using it. And I would like to encourage you to offer programs like that on a wider scale for other grades as well. well, because substance use does usually begin, people with substance use disorders begin using before they're age 18. And now cannabis is more widely used than even alcohol or tobacco. And it's a real concern given the potency of today's marijuana products. So there's a real need for kids and their parents to be educated about the risks of marijuana use. And also, one more thing about mental health, providers and programs need to address dual use, because many people with mental health disorders are also using substances, and they need care that is able to help them with both of those issues at the same time. It's very hard for families trying to navigate the system where treatment is only available for either substance use or mental health disorders, but not both together, and that's a very important piece. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Hear from the next caller.
Good afternoon. This is Peggy Walker. I'm a youth mentor and health educator, and I too support prioritizing and resources for mental health and youth education programs, which are so important in this time of expanding marijuana commercialization. I'm concerned that while taxpayer resources have gone into the marijuana equity program you've approved, some say it's so underfunded it can accomplish nothing, and that leaves questions about how much more taxpayer money it will require in the future. Will it become a budgetary nightmare, and is it really viable? And will there be funds from that program directed to youth education? Most worrisome is that it contributes to the normalization and accessibility of psychoactive drugs by young people who have little access to education about the risks and harms. So I ask you, in this time of an uncontrollable black market, of businesses going bankrupt, and marijuana in the news, with the expansion in front of us, to please look to the issues that youth face and help us to have expanded education programs to know what the risks and harms are. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll hear from our final caller.
Good evening. My name is Kathleen Lippett. Along with my colleagues who work to prevent drug use and abuse among children, adolescents, and young adults, particularly for the drugs most commonly used for the first time, and that is marijuana. Prevention strategies are sustainable, scalable, and prevent substance use and abuse, progression to substance use disorders, and other negative health effects of substance abuse can be prevented. Evidence-based prevention strategies can have long-term cost savings benefits for both personal and public health, particularly when they are implemented during childhood and adolescence. And effective prevention strategies have been designed to meet people's needs at different stages of life, from prenatal period through early childhood, adolescence, and adulthood, and varied settings like family life, schools, healthcare settings, and communities. These are in steep contrast to harm reduction policies. Embracing harm reduction policies will never get you to a point where the numbers are coming down. Instead, they will continue to increase. You cannot use harm reduction policies as a long-term strategy. Moreover, it's a misnomer. It does not prevent harm of any kind. The harm has already occurred because these are reactive strategies, not preventive, like prevention strategies are. So as a health promotion consultant, and that is my background, that is my training, those programs have been shown to be effective, and what the county is pursuing now is not going to be effective. And it also doesn't fit with the priorities of the unincorporated community residents who never wanted any part of this, especially the social equity program.
Thank you. And Chairwoman Vargas, that concludes oral public testimony on the budget. Members of the public may still provide written testimony on the budget online. To comment online on the budget, please visit the county's website at www.sandiegocounty.gov/budget. Testimony must be in writing and be received no later than the close of the budget hearings, which is Thursday, June 13th, 2024 at 5 p.m. All materials received will be distributed to the board, the Chief Administrative Officer, the Office of Financial Planning, and placed in the public record. Change letters from board members and the Chief Administrative Officer are also due to my office. The close of the budget hearings on Thursday, June 13th, 2024 at 5 p.m. Law precludes us from accepting change letters after that deadline. All change letters received will be distributed to the board, the Chief Administrative Officer, and the Office of Financial Planning shortly after that 5 p.m. deadline. Budget deliberations and adoption are scheduled for Tuesday, June 25th, 2024, the next regular scheduled meeting of the board. With that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.